In this universe,
In this galaxy,
in this world,
beneath the influencer clouds,
over the viral video fields,
off the information superhighway,
there are voices in the digital wilderness, whispering.
more opinions.
If you listen,
You will hear.
So, do you remember, like, where you were when you first heard about the terrorist attack?
oh, absolutely, yes.
Where were you?
I was, and I think it was around 8 o'clock in the morning. I was getting ready to go to my first class in college. I think I had been taking classes for a week, a little less than a week, something like that. Yeah.
I was in C Mill's lunchroom when I first heard about it. I was working, on the day shift. I remember coming home and it was just like, I remember watching the video and it was just like, wow, like, holy crap. Now, I'm glad I don't have a lot of people here. I actually have one. So, hello, Ryan. So we don't really need to get into all the controversies and everybody can be, we were living together at the time. Yeah, I remember that. Yep. So, we can forget all the conspiracies. Those can happen on other days when, we're not, because no matter what everybody thinks about who or what or everything around it, 3,000 people died. Innocent people died. So let's just keep that in mind, at least for today. Let's keep the conspiracy theories to a minimum, and then we can pursue or continue being assholes the next day, tomorrow. One day definitely will not, kill you. So, but yeah, the memes. The memes.
State Fair. Wow. I imagine, because I remember hearing a lot of other people, Americans, recounting in years past where they were on that day. A lot of them who were in school, I think they were sent home. Either
Yeah.
that or they took the rest of the day in their class to talk about what happened, why it happened, what led up to it, possible motives, that kind of thing.
And if we do want to talk about it a touch, I find it, man, how weird is it that I remember it was the Howard Stern show because he stayed on and people were calling in like saying like, Nanos? Or one of the older boys. They got 3 boys, I believe. 3 boys?
Happy birthday, nonetheless.
Anyways, like they knew right away because people were saying like this was a terrorist attack, and Joey Diaz called in, and I think it was Diaz. I don't know. And 14. Okay, and like they knew right away. A lot of people seem to know right away. So that's scary. Older boy, excellent. So, anyways, how was your weekend?
It was all right.
Pretty quiet.
For the most part, yeah. It wasn't a very eventful weekend, but I did go to the theater and I saw The Equalizer 3.
And how was it?
Decent.
Decent.
I think it's.
I enjoyed the first 2.
Yeah. It was a nice button on the trilogy. The first one, the best. Second one, not as good, I think, but still decent. A little bit slower. The third one, it's got its moments of brutality, kind of slow, but I love that little town of, I think it's Altamonte. Very nice location.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, and I mean, I think we've talked about this before. It's no Man on Fire, but it was pretty decent still. Man on Fire was amazing.
And I think Dakota Fanning was in Man on Fire as well. She was in this one too.
Yes, she was. Yeah, they showed up side by side of them, together. So I thought it was pretty cool. I played ball in Tilly this week and didn't go as good as we wanted it to. We were really close games. I mean, we lost. I mean, the last game we lost by 2 runs. But like throughout the weekend, we lost. We won our first game by 1. Second game we lost by 1. Third game we lost by 5. Last game we lost by 2. And then the last game on Sunday we lost by 2. So in softball, that's pretty good actually. Because usually softball can get pretty out of control with the scoring. So, but then top off a great weekend. I've had a little ingrown hair under my chin here. It's a tiny one. It was just a little thing. I kind of, thought I popped it kind of thing. Thought I got it out of there. Well, sure didn't. And guess what got infected and bulbous last night? So I had to go to I happened to have a doctor's appointment today. Thank goodness. Because I got in there because I'm feeling much better actually. My cough almost gone. I still got a lot of the phlegm. It just won't go away. So they gave me a puffer. And I showed them this thing. And they're like, oh, wow. Like it's like, big and purple and has teeth and it's biting things. And right. So he's like, the nurse first says to me, well, I don't know if we're going to have time. I'm like, someone has to cut this out of me. Like now. Like, cause I didn't even sleep last night because I couldn't because my face hurt. It was hot. And like, I even tried like doing it myself just to lance it, just to get some of it out. Right.
Little push pin.
No, I did. I was just like, I was trying anything and like to get it out. Right. Like I could see like the littlest of a whitehead there. So there was an entry point. It was, you could see, I just couldn't. And so they cut it and like they froze it. Of course, I wish she wouldn't have said this to me. Before she puts freezing in, says, just so you know, when on things like this, sometimes the freezing doesn't take full effect. So it might hurt a little bit. Like, well, you should have saved that little nugget for yourself. And I should have really didn't know that, right? But it was okay. It was fine. And I got through it. So she said there was a lot of pus when they first cut it. It just instantly doesn't, right? Like it just, so yeah. So it feels better. It's drained quite a bit already. Like, yeah, that's how, like, I'm trying to move my fingers. That's how big that the lump is in my, right there. Like, that's how big it is right now. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So I went from this little tiny, like I haven't had a grown hair like that in a long time. Like, I mean, years and years. So yeah, not fun. Yeah. And then I got home, I hadn't slept all night. So I'm like, okay, like, finish some of my chores. It doesn't hurt at all, really. It hurts a touch, right? But nothing major. And I'm sitting there playing some hockey. I'm like, I need to go to sleep. Like my eyes were like burning, and then I went and had a 2.5 hour nap. But great, now I won't sleep tonight.
I was at the gas station last week. I can't remember if it was Tuesday or Wednesday, but there was this one guy who pulled up, older guy, kind of like this old guy.
This old guy.
Could have been the same age or close. He gets out of the vehicle and I'm facing west and he's facing east. So just like everything else that's in my peripheral vision, I give him a look, but then I do a double take because on the back of his neck, I kid you not, because I really looked at it, trying not to, make him uncomfortable. I looked away.
I really looked at it.
I really looked. I like zoomed in. No. He had a growth on the back of his neck, and I kid you not, it came out like that. I have no idea what it was. It looked solid, but I'm sure if you poked it with something, it would just evaporate like a balloon.
You would think, well, that's what I thought with this, is that if I get that little bit of a hole, it'll just, and not so much. Not so freaking much, but It is what it is.
Yeah, getting old can have its downsides. Sure, you might be retired or close to it, but things start hurting that just won't go away, and so you got to
Yep.
live with it. You got to compromise more and more.
Yeah, you really do. Like the older guy on our crew, he even said he's like, I hit 40, and mine's not quite this bad, but he's like, I hit 40, my eyes went to crap. He's like, I needed glasses before, but he's like, it got worse. He's like, it seemed like overnight. He's like, I had to start wearing orthotics. Like, and like this guy's like a firefighter, so it's not like he like didn't half-ass take care of himself, right? He's like this. I hit 40, and I started falling apart.
Yep, that'll happen to some people, especially people who are very active younger in their life.
Mm-hmm.
It'll start to go pretty quick. It's not really happening to me, at least not yet. I don't have a really sore lower back. I never have.
Mm-hmm.
And my knees, they're fine at this point, but I'm thinking if I live to 50, when I hit 50, I'm just going to fall apart. I'm going to fall into a pile on the floor, and that's going to be it. Sorry to hear you were sick, Alma. Glad to hear you're better. Did you have some El Pollo Loco? No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, did Bolo give you some of that vitamin D and fix it? All right, I'll just say it. I have, no problem saying it.
I know you don't.
So,
I do because her husband's watching.
Yeah, well, he'll cut me later.
He'll send his MS-13 buddies up to see you.
Right. Giggity. All right. I'm trying to find. Oh, okay. Now, if you've already seen, let's see what weird name Elon Musk gave. What weird name? So, third child. What weird name did they give it? No. Techno-mecha.
No.
Yeah. So I'm reading here. These are the three names. I'm just going to show you guys. I'm not even going to try to pronounce this. Let me show you.
God, I love a Tabor guy. What is that? An example of irony or something? I don't get it.
Full disclosure, I didn't like the way the other shirt looked on me, so I ran into my kids' room and said, "Give me a shirt." So these are the names of Elon Musk's children right here.
Wow, you really can do anything when you're rich.
Yep, pretty much. Kind of how I see it. Wow, wow. Whew. I guess. But here's the thing. I mean, do you think kids give a crap though? Like, if that's your name, I don't care who your dad is, you're gonna take a punch.
Yeah.
It's Cornell. Come on, meow. I'd like to say again, thank you to Brody and Joe for letting me use their little camper over the weekend. It was perfect for what we needed. So the kid got to sleep in a much fancier trailer, so he wasn't in my peripheral, so that's all I cared about.
Should have put a camp or an enclosure on the back of the pickup truck and made him sleep in that.
Princess Fufu? You think she? Yeah, okay. Yeah. That ain't gonna happen. And that's just like Kim said. She's like, let him sleep in his escape. I'm like, we've all been there, slept in vehicles. Like, okay, I'll just put the back seat down and go to sleep. Like, I'm gonna be so drunk, it's not gonna matter anyways.
Yeah.
So, stories, man, it's pretty slow on the. I mean, that's really the story that I saw. There was the global is Elon Musk's kid. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'll jump in with this real quick. And I learned this morning. I don't know why I didn't learn about it on the weekend, but big old earthquake in Morocco. So thoughts and prayers to the people over there. I didn't see a whole lot. I'm not on Facebook a whole lot, so I didn't see anything there. But as we all know, if you don't instantly get on your social media and say, pray for insert place that just had something happen to them here, you're a bad person. You got to be, because you're not virtue signaling at the whim.
Yeah, then I'm a bad person.
Me too.
Because I was living my life. And I'm not trying to make light of what happened to these people, but I was living my life.
You're canceled now because you were living your life.
Cancel me. I was
That's
not
wrong.
staring at my phone and playing baseball and getting obscenely drunk. So I didn't want to talk about this. This was off on Saturday. It's funny because I just watched Jagger do one of these chip challenges, but the one chip challenge product has been pulled from Canada shelves after U.S. teen died.
Now, can somebody explain what this chip is? We're not talking about a bag of chips, are we?
No,
This ain't your.
no, I've seen it done. Our friend Maya Brody's buddy Jagger has done them. It's an insanely hot chip, like brutally. Chris Gregg, my buddy Chris, did it too. And like they like hot stuff. They love, and you can't eat these chips if you can eat more than one, or you can keep it in or out in your mouth. But apparently this kid died. So the Canadian Food Inspection Agency is conducting a safety investigation into the one chip challenge. The investigation comes as the Texas-based Plago. I don't know what that word is. Yeah, Jag's video was pretty funny. Oh, I didn't feel bad laughing. He had that last time. Hey, what's that word in the chat? Bodo Alma, help a guy out. The manufacturer of the extremely spicy tortilla chip pulled from products from Canada and the U.S. shelves after a teen's death in Massachusetts. I think that's a hard word to say. The autopsy is pending, but the 14-year-old parents are blaming the challenge. Participants in the social media challenge have been eating contains Carolina Reaper and Naga Viper peppers, and they see how long they can go without drinking water or eating food afterwards. This company has said the product is labeled with a warning for adults only, not intended for people with medical conditions or pregnant, sensitive to spicy foods, or allergic to the ingredients. A spokesman has said to the One Chip Challenge is sold in a very limited distribution in Canada. The spokesman says that they've seen an increase in teenage uses. The company is voluntarily removing the product from store shelves out of an abundance of caution.
Where were the parents at? And look where it's at.
Yep. So again, your kid wasn't paying attention, or you weren't paying attention to which you can't do. With the guys who have children, you can't pay attention all the time. The warning says on the label.
Wow, even Alma says I wouldn't do it.
And Alma, you talk to her about Mexican food, you bring up Taco Bell, she'll cut you. Like, that's not Mexican food.
I'll be there in like 50 minutes and I'll cut you.
Yeah, you're English, freaking
Spanglish.
Stupid. Spanglish. But again, so I'm blaming the chip. Now, again, you can't watch what your children do, but I mean, they pulled them themselves from the shelves. So do they need to go the way of cigarettes? They got to be put in a thing, and you have to show ID to buy this chip challenge now. Like, that's the world we live in, right? Nerf the whole world. Because, what about the children? Like, thoughts? Thoughts and prayers for the one chip challenge?
Yeah. So, you know how back in our day, our parents would say, well, if everyone was jumping off a bridge, would you too? In this day and age, it would be, well, if your friends were doing a TikTok challenge, would you do it too? And of course, the answer in both cases is, how much am I getting paid in endorsements?
Well, that depends. How many views am I getting? And you're not doing it. OMG, my parents are totally draining my life. Hashtag need no parents. Hashtag I'm a jid.
So there's a warning label on the product says for adults only, do not have more than one.
Yep.
Our latest Darwin Award nominee's name is
that kid whose name has not been released yet.
Oh, dang.
So is it it's like the Bill Engvall thing? Here's your sign. Because tree fitty. But still, it's there's your sign. Don't do I love that Darwinism thing. I love that. That is the greatest thing in the world. Here's your Darwin Award because you're stupid.
Mm-hmm.
What did you think was going to happen?
Yet That's a good idea. If you're going to do something like that, make sure you go down first and test it out with a stick, the
Yep.
depth. Yeah.
Yep.
There you go.
But so maybe that's what they're going to have to do is start sending, like, they're going to have to order the chips now, I guess. That's what you're going to have to do.
Here's what they're going to do. They've pulled it from the shelves. In 6 months, it's going to come back, but you're going to have to show ID, and it's just like buying cigarettes at 7-Eleven. It's going to be behind the counter.
Show your butthole. Bend over and spread your cheeks.
The Trumpster Bob Butthole Challenge.
Yeah. Like, gosh. I had sent you a couple good pictures to look at. You got stuff you want to go through?
that 5-minute video you sent me of the what was it? The Nevada police going through the barricade on the way to Burning Man.
Mm-hmm.
That the description, and this is Colin Rugg on Twitter. I'll pull it up so we can all gaze at this. All right. So this is from what does old Brucey Woothie have to say?
He's out.
Oh, all right. Take care, Dad.
I think he had a mini stroke at the beginning, but then pulled it in together just to finish the rest of the sentence.
And thank you to Beverly Russell for liking us on Facebook. Greatly appreciated. Thank you. Thank you.
As a tribal ranger, too.
Yeah. Tribal rangers rammed through a group of climate protesters. I have a problem with this because when you watch the video, that's not exactly what happens. Sure, they go through the barricade. I like that shot. That's a good shot. This is why we have drones. A lot of people going to Burning Man. Boom! So they're going through the barricade. What does it say? Rammed through a group of climate protesters. Well, those are signs and what have you. That's not a climate protester.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there was one person back
on the
there.
trailer, I think. Yeah.
So 1, 2, 3, 4. But they're not ramming through climate protesters. And then the person comes back, and I love this. Can you hear this?
No.
No, if you can't, that's fine. He's like, get down. And he's got his gun out like these big old Rambo guys. Get on the ground. Like you do. Pulls her down because this is 2007 America. Yeah, that's the main problem I had with this is the little bit of exaggeration.
But I'm going to tell you right now, I disagree with him moving them like that. I don't. If you're we talked about Darwinism. There's Darwinism. You're going to park in the middle of a business, especially when these people have paid money. I'm guessing that they paid money to go to Burning Man, of course, create. So yeah, they're lucky. They're lucky that the Rangers did this and those people didn't take this into their own hands. Really, because we've all wanted to go to like Brody. How mad would you have been if people were protesting and we couldn't get down to see Guns N' Roses because someone's blockading the road? Like, go away. Seriously.
The TNF looks similar. Yep, getting old.
Yep. So, and that's my take on it. I hate these people that block roads and whatnot like that. Get out of the way. Like these people here, like they're go protest the government. What do you think being in the middle of the desert at a festival is going to do for anything? I just thought of this and see if you follow what I'm going to try to say like an uneducated redneck. They stormed, another group of people stormed the Capitol building and nothing changed, right? Nothing changed. And they went to Washington, to the building where this stuff is decided, and nothing changed. Do you think you and your 12 hippy-dippy friends who eat vegetables are probably malnourished because you don't eat properly are going to make a difference out in the middle of the desert? No. Do you think we just saw Mitch McConnell have a hard reset on TV. Do you think he even knows? She said 2 of them?
Yes.
Okay, so he's had 2 hard resets on TV. Do you think he knows what Burning Man is? My God, do you think what he probably thinks Burning Man is?
He would think of...
Anyone ever seen Mississippi Burning? That's where I'll leave it.
Anyone ever seen the original Wicker Man with Christopher Lee? That's what I would think of first.
Yeah. But...
For a new Popeyes, not against, for. Yeah. Wow.
But yeah, I'm just saying, like, another group of people stormed the Capitol and nothing changed. Again, you think blocking a bunch of people who want to get messed up and listen to music is going to change politicians' minds? Come on, guys. Seriously. Like, I think that's the way you got to start. That's the best way to start thinking about this. If I do this, is this going to affect change at all? Is this more of an upgrade than what they did on September 6th? No? Okay, it's probably not going to change anything, so I shouldn't do it.
January 6th.
Well, I said June, didn't I? Okay.
September.
Did I? Whatever. But you know what I'm saying, bro. And I'm not disagreeing with you. But what I'm saying is, if nothing changed by them doing that, do you think anything's going to change by being out in the middle of a desert, messing with people who are going to have a good time?
Yeah, the only good thing that would have come from a lot of people going to the desert would have been that storming of Area 51 that for whatever reason did not happen a bunch of years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bunch of think for yourselvesers.
And I like Ryan's comment because I'm going to liken that to 2 years ago when we were fighting for our freedom by going into a grocery store without a mask and yelling at the assistant manager, "Oh, I can't breathe, my freedom, my freedom." Yeah, that really did a lot. That changed everything. So did going to Ottawa and honking horns and taking dumps on people's lawns who lived in downtown. Yeah, great. You changed everything. We're so free now.
Hey, so I'm going to really change subject here, but you're right. But I got to ask if with the 3 of us from Mackenzie that are watching right now, did you know Kayla? Should I know her?
That's a very familiar name.
I mean, I know the Kaylas, like Sony Kayla, Pam Kayla. Like, I don't know, maybe this is their little sister, but apparently she passed away from brain cancer and like was a pretty prominent fixture down south there by you, Vancouver. Whoa. And she's from Mackenzie. So I don't recognize Kulji. I don't know. Ryan, maybe.
I know the name, but not the face.
Okay.
That sucks.
Oh, she graduated. Okay, that's why we wouldn't know her. Okay. Yeah, she graduated long before us. Okay. That explains. Okay. Okay, well then that explains a lot. Yeah, because I know Sarah often works in Calgary, and JP Asquith's sister works in Edmonton. Alicia. Yeah. So, anyways, but yeah.
If you watch the Oliver Stone movie JFK, there was someone else who found the magic bullet and put it on the gurney. But I remember that scene very clearly. I don't know if it was the Secret Service agents, but yeah, that was in there. It's interesting.
What a story. Like, what a, just you go back and think and you see all the things that people have done, like the whole, when Jesse Ventura did it, and not that Jesse, but when they had like the sniper who's like, I don't know how this guy would have been able to do this. And, it's pretty much been debunked from what I've seen and the little bits that I've read. It's just like, okay, like, again, I'm just a hillbilly from Canada, from Southern Alberta, so I don't really know, but it seems like there's a lot to this story.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Well, that's where we'll leave it then.
Here, check this out. Tex isn't here because he and Jeremy are on the Harsh Truth right now talking about the first 3 Saw films.
Oh, that's right.
And I want you to see Jeremy's makeup. Now, maybe that took 5 minutes, maybe it took a half hour, but that's some pretty good stuff right there.
Wow.
Yeah.
I see that.
Yeah, good on you, Jeremy.
Yeah, I'm actually popping up the feed right now. Oh, yeah. I actually just popped it up. They're actually talking about the scene right now where they're, the guy's reaching out of the furnace on fire there.
Mm.
Yeah. I'm actually going to put a thing on their thing and say, so this is where Tex and Frank are. That's a garbage man. I got a new keyboard. I don't know if I like it.
Is it just a straight regular or is it a natural keyboard?
It's a Logitech and I don't like it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Of course he did tread. Yeah, just like everything else. I don't think Tex is a cosplay guy.
No. Not even for a second.
He didn't even put on a hat for it.
I actually didn't. I didn't, like I think I've said before, I didn't mind the first couple Saws. They were okay. But then they got a little too, like, ugh, for me. They really did. So.
Well, that's the thing. You got to up the ante every time, or else you're not going to get the previous audience and then some.
Yeah, because they'll get bored, right? Like,
yeah.
They will most definitely get bored. So.
Yeah, and that's how evolution goes. Evolution in human biology and entertainment is a strange one because you look at movies from the 1960s through the 1970s. Most of the time, pretty tame stuff. When you get to 1975 and you have a movie like Sallow or the 120 Days of Sodom, it starts to, veer off the path of, well, this is interesting and artistic to this is downright evil. And then you get into the 80s with the Japanese guinea pig series. And then you get into the 90s where they kick it up a little bit. And that I haven't seen this series yet, but I'm hoping by Halloween I have. The American guinea pig series from the mid 2010s onward.
I've never even heard of any of these.
Yeah. They go a little bit beyond Saw and Hostel.
Oh, really?
It's from gorehounds for gorehounds.
Oh, wow. Look at that. Just looking at the video. It's got a 4.6 out of 10 rating on IMDb.
A lot of horror movies, especially extreme horror movies, have below a 5 rating on the IMDb.
A man is in prison. So this is the American Guinea Pig Blood Shock.
That's the second one in the series from 2015, yeah.
Yeah. A man is imprisoned by a psychotic doctor who tortures him in increasingly gruesome ways in order to extract chemicals from his bloodstream.
Sound familiar? That's the whole adrenochrome thing.
Oh.
But with the adrenochrome theory, it's that children are being scared to death or almost to death by the elite so that their blood can be harvested, and it's got that chemical in it because they were scared to that level.
Really? Wow.
So the theory goes, which I do not endorse or believe in.
Oh, Jesus. Looking at some of the stills. My goodness. Wow.
I give it to the people who do these movies because of the craft and with the special effects as well. When you're an actor and you're in a movie like that, you really have to sell the pain and go along with the story. So that it's not an easy thing to do. And I've seen 2 of Brian Paulin's movies now. He's really good when it comes to gore. I saw Cryptic Plasm from 2015, and there was another one he did in 2010. The name escapes me, but for the terrible line delivery that it has and the story that's, kind of not really there, the gore is there. Think of Evil Dead 2 or any of those Japanese samurai movies from the 80s or the 90s,
Like the
where
Kill
the
Bill
blood
style, where it's like
sprays
squirting.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
kind of comical, but still, it takes time to do that kind of thing.
Hold on. Just like doing my show. Get back to you later. Okay. Yes. Okay. Oh, I was just busting your balls, Frank. You didn't have to come over here. I couldn't even hear if Tex said anything because I couldn't have it running in my headphones. So,
Well, thank you for dropping in, Frank. I think he's pulling double duty because he's watching out on his stream so that Tex doesn't say anything.
Oh, so, but that's acting in general. Like, yes, I can see like the things when I only saw like the first two hostels. I did see the first two hostels, but like the acting when he's dragging himself across after he's cut his Achilles and stuff, and any of that though. But like, I go back to like my favorite movie with Jaws. Okay, you need to pretend there's a man-eating shark in the water. I mean, there's nothing there. It's just a tank of water. But like this way that they sell the whole thing is amazing. And there really was no shark for most of the movie. We all know that, right? Because it wasn't working. So yeah, like just reading Frank's comment.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. I think he'll be pretty good, but you never know.
Can I ask, without, I'm not trying to, but like, what is an instant that the text would say? Like, or is this something you'll tell me off air?
Well, consider the context. The show they're doing right now. What would text say that would get them flagged on YouTube?
Okay, got it. All right. Anyways, let's carry on.
Okay. All right.
Got it. Do you have some stories you want to get out, or some of the pictures I sent you, maybe, or?
There was a picture that I found recently, and I'll show you this one. This is old news now, and everyone's moved on, so I'm just dragging up stuff that doesn't really matter. However, I like this because this is Jason Aldean, and down here, thank you, Snowflakes, for helping my song go. And he probably didn't say that, but I bring it up because if by snowflakes you mean the marketing department of his label using the contrived culture war as a coercive tool to drum up controversy using a statistically insignificant few takes on the song being racist, man, they go all the way down the rabbit hole with this. Mobilizing both the indignant anti-woke right and the sane people who are just curious about the controversy, then yeah, the snowflakes did it. I love that take.
Yeah, it's like it's and that's the thing. It's like anything nowadays with the like, think about it. Like it's apparently coming back. Like it never went away, and we said this on the show years ago. And we're not the only ones to say this, but COVID's coming back. Apparently.
Nah.
It never left, but apparently, but that's going to be the hot button now, and that's what they're going to feed off of. And I think the problem is there's not enough people that'll step back and go, whoa, like, this isn't worth my time. I need to use my brain. For instance, when I was reading people talking about the one chip challenge, and someone made the comment about, it's funny that, so again, misinformed because it wasn't the government that pulled the chips, it was the company. Mm-hmm. But the person makes the comment, yeah, well, see, it's funny how the government will pull these chips, but yet you can still get guns and stuff, and kids are dying from guns. One kid dies from a chip, and it's all got to change. I see what they're saying, if they weren't misinformed that the government had done it. But then the next thing goes, the next first comment is, well, guns are a constitutional right, and of course, I was going to comment and go, hey, did you know at one time slavery was also a constitutional right, and they changed that because it wasn't working. But as I'm typing, I'm going, this just isn't worth my time. It's not worth my time and my energy because there's no way that this guy, while sitting there probably rubbing himself with his gun, is not going to respond to me. So it's like I deleted it and I moved on with my day. thought that was the best thing for everybody involved.
Yes, because you're going to start circling the toilet bowl with, oh, this and
Exactly.
that, this and that. Well, I believe this. Well, I believe that.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to call
Yeah.
you a name and you're going to call me a name.
And that's just it. So I was like, you know what? I don't even need to be bothered with it.
Yeah.
Okay, so just for those keeping score at home, the first American guinea pig was actually called Banquet of Guts and Gore.
Which is an homage to the second Japanese guinea pig movie from 1985.
There's a trailer. You know what that is? Like, it's funny because like the pictures. So they don't even show pictures in. Oh, there we're getting some pictures. Nope, they just kind of show the beginning. Like credits, but they don't show any of the pictures of the gore from it.
Of course not. No, they won't show that on the IMDb.
They actually did for the second one.
Oh,
Some of it, yeah, which is weird. I wasn't expecting to see that. So
you're better off, Brody. But I would not give everyone the advice to quit arguing online, because I think it's a good, interesting, from a back of the room perspective to watch other people argue online, just so you can see where it goes. And if you put yourself in that position, what would you say? How would you react in that moment? Could you stay measured? So on and so forth. Old man.
And sometimes it only takes that minute to step back and be like, okay, like let's process this first before I lose my mind. Mm-hmm. Right? Like, and that's hard. And I speak from a lot of experience of not taking a second, just being like, like, calm down, think about it. And a lot of it, as lately, it is like, is it even worth saying anything? Is it even worth your time to say anything? And a lot, it's not.
I agree. And Chad, thank you for liking us on Facebook. Now, when you say just checking in from the office, does that mean perking up from your nap in your wheelchair, thinking that you still contribute to society in a productive way?
Yes.
You know, I believe this about Frank. I only do it to troll people, because Frank is that kind of laid back guy where I think his mind operates on a chess-like strategic level, where he thinks, if I say this, they're going to respond that way. And then he can just sit back, twiddle his thumbs, and watch the entertainment unfold in front of him.
Yep.
Ooh, that's a good one. I haven't watched South Park in quite some time, so I have no idea.
Me neither. I can't make. Now, the pieces I've seen from it, where the subjects they talk about, I get a kick out of the clips. I don't know if I sent this one to you, but the boys are brought in front of council or something. So don't correct me, because I don't know what it is, but because they're using the slang for a cigarette. Okay.
Oh yeah.
That it's offensive to the gay community, and they're like, well, no, that just because you're being a cigarette doesn't mean that you're gay. And the counselor goes, well, I'm gay. Do you think I'm a cigarette? He's like, would you drive around a neighborhood and on a Harley Davidson up and down the block annoying everybody? And he's like, well, no. He's like, yeah, cool. So you're just gay. You're not a cigarette. And then the next question is, you're about to turn left and you're out there ready to turn and the light goes yellow. It's supposed to be your turn, but this stupid guy in a BMW cuts through the red light and now you're stuck out in the middle of the intersection. What do you call him? The other guy goes, a cigarette. Like, oh, I completely get what these kids are saying.
Yes, you did send me that. Yep.
He nails it. They nailed it. And I'm interested to know. I know they have writers they work with, right? But I like to kind of know, like, how many of those people, like, how many of those ideas are actually Matt Stone's or Trey Parker's? Because that's a great explanation of it. You can be a cigarette and not be a homosexual.
Yeah.
And I think that's what gets lost on a lot of people, right? Like, you know, I think that they nailed it. So, you know, like, I can't give an honest opinion, Brody, because I don't watch it. I actually started rewatching right from season 1. I think about 3 or 4 episodes in, and I don't watch a lot of TV. Like, in full disclosure, I've said that. So, you know, I went back and there's some things I really giggled at, like, you know, Cartman's got the alien probe up his butt and stuff, and you know, you know, like it has its moments, but yeah, for the longevity, yeah, but I will say this, and we watch The Simpsons every night because it's on Disney. I get a kick out of the new seasons, you know, without turning it into this whole Apu's gone and Frank, whatever his name is, got all, you know, liberal and blah 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 and bull crap and stuff. So without getting into that, I enjoy The Simpsons. A lot of people do not care for The Simpsons anymore, but I still quite enjoy it.
Right on.
So, right, do you have some more stories you would like to rattle out?
Well, there were. Oh, I got a video for you.
Okay.
And by the end, you'll understand why I liked this video so much. It'll make sense immediately.
Had to sneak in to go to war. Name one woman who snuck in to go to war. Joan of Arc. Did y'all miss history class? She's very famous. You know what I hate about dudes like this is they would rather just be dumb than look anything up. Because if you had just Googled women who snuck into war, one would come up for the American Revolution. There's an entire Wikipedia page that's just wartime cross-dressers. This is a woman. You could have checked out the articles on archive.gov. You could have gone to army.mil, the literal website for the army, and seen more than 400 women disguise themselves as men and fought in the Union and Confederate armies during the Civil War. Women weren't allowed to enlist, they had to sneak in. I need y'all to question why you think the way you do. When y'all say shit like men need to fight all the wars because women won't, well, first off, men need to stop starting wars. But second, why do you think that? Who's gonna work the coal mines if men don't? Because women don't do the hard job. Why do you think that? Where is that coming from? Think critically. Do y'all do any research on this stuff before you say it? Y'all just look around like, oh, we don't see women doing this job. It must be because it's too hard for women. Y'all don't ever think, were women ever banned from doing this? Are girls ever encouraged to learn this? Are these job fields and people welcoming towards women, or are they going to be harassed and undermined from day one? Think before you speak.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep.
Now, this guy, I think I got this from a Facebook reel. So this guy's name is Sizor. So find him, subscribe to him, watch his videos. I didn't ask him if I could play this. I'm assuming it's transformative because we're commenting on it after the fact. I wanted to get the whole thing out there before I said anything, just so we could all digest what he was saying.
See, I think what's happening right now in the culture is, and I've kind of fallen into it a touch, but I watch it for more entertaining purposes. It's because you are seeing the shows like the Whatever Podcast and all those other, where they bring up, let's call it, unskilled, uneducated women who are really looking for that. Like most of those shows, and the guys say that 1% guy that, because most guys that are 6'5", ripped and rich are like 1%ers. All the rest of them are fat, bald. I mean, fuck them out, fat crap. That was good. That's 49 minutes. That's impressive. You know, there's 3 of us right now that are watching this show that are bald as AF. Right? 4. There's us 2, Ryan, Brody. I don't know if Brody has hair right now. If he does, it's not much.
What a traitor.
But what I'm saying, like, and so I think that's what the trap people fall into. Because you don't see, my sister from another mister, Sophia, she's an Italian stallion, a beautiful girl. She's a welder. And she'll, you know, she's a dude. There are women out there like that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, to say all women, no, but I think what those ones are trying to yeah, dude, I get that every once in a while too. I think what those targeting are the women that those conversations happen, where the ones that are like, I need a sugar daddy, then you take care of me, and blah 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 blah. Hello, Sarah May. So, and
Hello,
the thing is a lot of women don't need to do that either, because like, unlike Soph, a lot of women just want to have families and be at home and take care of children and be a homemaker, which is fine. But yeah, to say that uneducated stuff, that there are no women that do that stuff is ignorant.
I dismiss it out of hand whenever I hear these blanket statements. I'm kind of like you in the online arguing part. I hear it and I want to respond, but I don't, because I know where it's going to go and I know it's useless.
No, because we love them though, but it could be a Frank on the other end. Let's see how fast or how long we can keep this going for, right?
Yep.
Really? Yeah.
People were saying that years ago about women getting into sciences, and I want to say CERN as an example, because I don't know if it's true, but it was said by a few people on the subject that women were discouraged from getting into those kinds of sciences. It was it's not exactly like a boys' club, but it was more, are you sure you want to do this? Don't you want to try that? Or don't you be better suited for that? Yeah.
So I don't know how old this picture is, but I'm going to use it because it's our sister from another mister and she's holding a cock. So keep in mind, this girl is a welder in the fields in Texas, and she's holding a cock right now. That is mine and Sarah's sister from another mister. She's fucking second. She's beautiful, and she's a welder. But yeah, so girls can be pretty and still do things without a problem.
Yeah.
So
I was with a moving company years ago, and one of my friends who was a woman, I think she was looking for a job at one point, and I suggested, well, because she was in good shape at the time, I thought, well, how about you come to the moving company with me? And I gave her the number, and I think she called and spoke to the boss. And one of the first questions the boss asks, or maybe he asked me after the fact, because they had a conversation, and then I asked him about what was the conversation like with her. And I think he looked at me and he said, would you carry a credenza up the stairs with her? Well, first of all, we don't do that on a regular enough basis for that question to be valid. Like he's setting the goal so far away and the bar so high. Yep. Yeah. Like I wouldn't do that with some of the guys who I've been doing the job with for quite some time at all. So why are you asking that of her? That makes no sense.
Yeah. Well, it's because they're looking for a reason. They want to be able to justify not you giving her the job. That's what they want to do, because then they can justify it, right? Then they can say straight up, like, hey, hey, Chad, put your pink thing away. She's like very happily with someone now, you pervert. I totally called him out on air because he sent me a text. I totally called him out on air. I don't know if he's listening still or not.
I think he is.
You are way too old to keep up with her. She is our sister from another Mr. Gypsy. She moved to like Guadalajara or something and ran a restaurant for a few years. She got a tattoo on the side of the road in a van in Guadalajara or some foreign hellhole. So like, you're a dick.
I love the real-time response.
You're a dick. You're much faster. Are you talking and texting right now? Because there's no way that you're like texting that fast. He's gonna cut a Nicaragua. It was something like that. Some foreign hellhole. But yeah. So
scientifically proven, women do ha with the hoo-ha. What? No. Have a smaller brain, but we have more neurons. See, it doesn't matter the size of the brain, it's the amount of neurons within. I think it's something like that. You could have the brain the size of Nick's head or the brain the size of a peanut. It's the amount of neurons in said brain. And if they connect and they're firing, that kind of thing.
I found a video on Instagram. It was great. This woman is talking, and the guy's response is awesome. She's like, I was told to marry an older man, so I did. And you know what the older man just made me buy him while I was out because he wanted it for lunch? He's like, dino nuggets. He wanted the chicken nuggets that look like dinosaurs. But this is also an older man. So then the guy responds, he's like, ma'am, whoever told you that's a lie. And he's like, whoever told you that was probably another woman. He's like, you need to realize that most men hit their maturity level at 12. Sure, You can dress us up and kind of make us act a part in public, and we'll do our best to maintain our maturity while out of the house. But for the most part, when we're home, you have now inherited another child. Just learn to deal with it. You signed up for this. Because there are things that every dude does. And I know women do too. But I'm going on my experience here in my house. Like maybe I'm like the real special ed here. My poor wife, there are days where she's just got to be like, what was I even thinking? Especially when she gets caught, like at dinner, and Cohen's on the couch with her, and she's in the middle, and I'm in my chair, and she gets caught in that vortex of stupid. And you could just see, like, her eyes are just rolling back into her skull, right? And it's just like, you got caught in the vortex. I mean, I don't know if Sarah and Ben and Devin are like that. I just looked at Brody. If poor Joe is it'll be Owen and Brody, and she's gonna get caught in that thing, and it's just like, oh yeah, or me and Sarah are together. Oh, that's a vortex of stupid that she got caught in July. Because she was, again, in the middle. Sarah's on this side of the table. I'm on this side, and there's Kim in the middle. Caught in that vortex of dumb. Like, the poor woman, like, just, whew.
Yeah, she's witnessing broadbentism.
And Brody nailed it. Our wives put up with, between me hurting myself, with my wife, Brody, having 700 different ideas about what he wants to do with his life. And they both kind of go, well, we signed up for this, and, like, we gotta deal with it, right? So, yeah. So, no, I like how Chadney went all quiet. But Chad, I still love you if you're still here. Yeah. Can't believe you're holding out on me. You're a dick. Yeah, you definitely could not keep up with that, son. No matter how much Blue Chew you do. Just saying, Blue Chew, we need a sponsorship right here. Yeah, chicken nuggies are just nuggies that have been made to look like dinosaurs, and I would appreciate that. Now, the only way you can appreciate the nuggies, though, is because when you take your T-Rex, you'll be like, and dunk them in whatever you're going to dunk them in, and go, that's how you eat dino nuggies.
So yeah, I highlighted this comment a second time because this is the modern day equivalent of, I like turtles.
I like turtles.
Way to go, Brody.
I could see that with what Sarah said. That it'd be Ben and Reese. I could see that.
Yep.
Reese, yeah, Ben and Reese for sure. So. All right, do you have some stories? We're getting to that 1 hour mark. So aside from our videos, is there stories that you would like to bang out?
Giggity. I think I had one more. Oh, okay. This is going to tie into the movie recommendation at the end, but I will bring this up now. And this is great because this was at the end of the movie. That person who helps others simply because it should or must be done, and because it is the right thing to do, is indeed, without a doubt, a real superhero, says Stan Lee. Rest in peace, Stan Lee. And because we haven't talked about it up to this point in time, that is probably the quintessential attribute or set of attributes that a good person would or should have, is to do something because it is the right thing to do. Don't care about reward. Don't care about anything else. Just do it because it's the right thing to do, period.
I have nothing to add to that.
Great.
That fits right in with what we say at the end of the show every week. Oh, man. Okay, we got to save that conversation for next week. We're supposed to have that whole good person, like the whole thing. With Tex. But Tex isn't here. Frank's not here. So, you know what, Brody? I was thinking the same thing, but I didn't say it. I was thinking the same thing like this.
Wow. Too soon, Brody. Wow.
Yeah, I was going to say it too. But
should have waited till you were on your deathbed to say that. Then you would have gotten away with it. Which will probably be next week.
Ouch.
Yeah.
That hurts.
But off of that, speaking of... stupid people. I'm finding a lot more in the way of driving videos now. So here's one. No audio. What's going to happen? Whoa. And that's inches away. Maybe the lens isn't right, but that was mere
That
inches
was
away from
close.
hitting.
Yep.
Yeah.
Did I tell the story? Oof. Yep. And she didn't even, okay, the person, 'cause I can't tell, didn't even look. Did not even look this way. Did I tell you that I almost got hit just before Tilly? I almost got hit. So we have a strip mall with a liquor store right on the end. So I grabbed a bottle of the stuff we needed for Jello shots, and I came around, and it goes Walmart parking lot, Tim Hortons parking lot, Wendy's parking lot. And I had to go to Ball. So I was like, I like to eat earlier, right? So it was just me. So I'm just going to grab some Wendy's. And just before, like, early, 3:30. I come around, and a good thing, I was staring right at her watching. And her head didn't even turn to her left to see me coming. And she just pulled out. And if I wasn't paying attention, my pickup would have won against that minivan. And I laid on the horn because, and then it just happened that she went to the Wendy's drive-thru too. I'm like, oh, I hope she doesn't think I'm following her, because I was pissed, but it's like, whatever, it's done. Nobody got hurt. It's done. She bought me my dinner.
Wow.
Yeah, because she cut in front of me. She bought me my dinner.
And you didn't say a thing? You didn't, make a scene of it?
Just beat the horn at her because, she didn't even turn her head. I didn't scream and yell. I didn't I didn't make a scene as one might expect. There's no point.
Yeah.
And a lot of things go through my brain now when I'm going to do something that's like, I have a band. I'm pretty well known around Tabor. I don't want to be making big scenes about things that really aren't that important. Making a scene in the hospital when my son with an open head wound is sitting in out in the waiting room for 4 hours, yeah, that's going to be a scene. Someone cutting me off, and I had to, I think a right to beep a horn and carry on, not cuss a person out. I don't know what was going on in her mind that day. Maybe there were kids in the back of the van that were just being, little crotch goblins, and she was having a rough day, and some bald 300-pound 6-foot dude yelling at her is not going to help. This case, 5'11", are not going to help her situation. So,
Of course, she brings up the video game quote.
So you're playing that game. There's two favorite sayings. That is a big one. Your mother should have swallowed you. And it's like in a Boston, New York accent. And you're in LA. There's a random goat noise. Every once in a while you hear a bah! And then they have this, like, when things start blowing up, there's a little Asian lady who goes, "Oh no!" That's my favorite one. Yeah, your mother should have swallowed you. Yeah. Yeah.
See, that's how Brody would have told the story. Hey, I got free food today, and then it goes backwards from there.
So he would have Tarantino'd it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Such a cliche thing. My God, you're gonna tell me Tarantino it? I'm obsessed with doing this now. I find it hard to believe. So maybe because they're younger, that people haven't seen these movies, but I just watch like a collaboration where people watching movies. In this part, it's the part where he does Samuel Jackson in Pulp Fiction, and they have people watching this, and they're just like, whoa, because they're eating burgers in the morning, and it's weird questions, but it's like it's Tarantino, right? And then just the build up, and they're like, whoa, and when he just shoots the guy, he's like, I'm sorry, did I mess up whatever he says? He's like, continue, and then everyone's just like, and then when he starts into the whole Bible verse, everybody's like, oh, he's gonna kill everybody in there. I love watching these people's reactions to movies. I'm getting a kick out of it. I really am.
Yep. What does that mean? To Tarantino it? Well, that means to start in one place, not go all the way through in a linear fashion, but to go from here to here, back to here. Then we're going to go over here. Then we're going to go here, and it's all going to lead to here.
I'm more meant starting with the end.
Yeah.
I'm more meant starting with the end.
You've never heard the reference. Get out.
Get out. Yeah, actually, the other first reaction video I watched was 7, like at the end with the box.
Yeah.
And these people are like, they're in tears. And they're like, oh no. And then and right away when he flips back and like, you remember the scene because you don't never see the head, but you see the hair. And right away, this one girl's like, it's her head. She picks it up right away. She's like, oh, it's her head. That is a great movie. I'm sorry, says it's spoiler alert, but everyone here should have seen 7. Go back and watch it. Still holds up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Welcome to the party, pal. I will never not quote from Die Hard when I can.
One of my favorite lines was I like Total Recall, and he rips the arms off the guy. He's like, "See you at the party, Richter."
I'll kill you and be home in time for cornflakes.
Me and Cole watched when Owen was here, so about 3 years ago, we watched 7 and The Usual Suspects back to back.
Wow.
No, it was Usual Suspects and 7, because I always thought Usual Suspects was a little slower on the build up, right? Whereas 7, I find you're like really into, like, holy crap, like right away. And so I've seen it, so I'm watching The Boys as Verbal. Okay, spoiler alert. As Verbal's walking away, and as he's the cop's putting everything together, and then and he starts walking again, and then both the boys are like, oh, and Greg was, that's Kaiser Soze. He knew right away. I'm like, good job, buddy, because and then at the end of 7, when he says, and I took her pretty little head, and Cohen was just like, both the boys like, no, it's not, because a greasy twat with the initials, let's just call him K. Mackey. Okay, no, that's twat.
Oh, Jesus
Kevin
Christ.
M. told us what happened. He ruined that movie for us, and he ruined Independence Day for us, for a group of us. I'm still annoyed with that.
Rent-free, great example right here.
Right there, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, I never think about it. Then he brings it up. That's what Brody's saying that. It's just like, there it is.
Yeah.
Yep, there it is. Yeah. And I'm surprised Ryan didn't beat me to it. Because I'm shocked Ryan didn't beat me to the comment there. Because I know that he ruined it for me, Ryan, I believe the McNichol boys. I don't know who else was there for it, but he told all of us. And then I know for sure it was me and Ryan for Independence Day. I don't know who else, but I know me and Ryan for sure on Independence Day, because he said it was, they put it. The way he put it was, they put a virus into the mothership, and I was like, I remember thinking, that's dumb. And then it happened. I'm like, he told us how they do it. Oh, see, I was letting you have that one. See, because Ryan was probably thinking, yeah. And I think I'm correct, right, Ryan? Those 2 movies.
That I figured out much later was a callback to War of the Worlds from way back in the day, because it was the human cold that the aliens got that eventually killed them off. So
fair enough. That's actually pretty creative writing, honestly.
Yeah, nice little.
Because their bodies aren't used to it, right?
I bet it was the 6th day. No, what was the other? End of Days. I bet he ruined that one. And to go back to Brody's comment, yeah, it's amazing to be surprised like that. To go through the whole movie and then it flips on you. Flip mode. Flip mode is the greatest. Like that. When it hits you, that's what the whole movie was building up to. And to take that away from someone, yeah.
Well, like I said, yeah, that was The Usual Suspects first time I watched it. I had no idea. I totally thought it was the guy they pinned it on. Like, and just how awesomely creative that was to bring that all together with the names off the board that this guy told this whole story, right? See, that's Frank. Everyone calls him Mike Shamalama Ding Dong.
Shalamalama, not shamamalama. Shalama.
Hey, I have an accent. I'm Canadian. Stop it. Okay, so what are some other movies? Okay, good. I don't have nowhere to be right now, I don't think. Other movies that tried to do it but didn't do it. The only one that did it for me was Shutter Island. I figured out right away that he was that, I figured that out. Any other movies you guys, like, either they tried and they failed, like, I knew this was coming, or one you were just like, oh my geez, I didn't see it. But mainstream ones, none of your weird ones, Alex, that, like, 7 people have seen, and, like, is there any mainstream ones that you didn't see coming, and it's like, wow. Oh, I got one, because I saw later Jasons beforehand. So I remember the order I saw, but the later ones don't mention Pamela Voorhees.
That's right.
And I think I watched like 6 and 7 first. And then when I went back and watched the first one, I just thought it was Jason. I didn't realize it was Pamela Voorhees.
And this was same here.
Yeah, so that was a bit of a shock.
And that's what I miss about the old Friday the 13th movies. I think with the second, the third, and the fourth one, when they open the movies, it starts with the kids around the campfire and someone's telling the story. I really like that every time.
Yeah, me too. I do as well. So yeah, like any other movies before we do the rest of our videos, maybe you guys can think of that were like, wow, I did not see that coming. Alex,
yeah, I got a mainstream example for you. So I was really young when I saw Return of the Jedi.
Oh, good call.
And yeah, when Admiral Akbar says it's a trap, that's when it swerved on me, bro.
Okay, you swerved me there, bro. Actually, that would have been Empire.
Oh yeah. All right.
Yep. Empire.
Oh yeah, because is it this person? Is it that person? Yeah. It just becomes a guessing game, and you all put in $1, and whoever wins in the end, they get the pot. Yeah.
Yeah.
But still, yeah, it's good.
Yeah, I can't think of any other big ones. Anyways, okay. Next video,
or because this is the end of this series. Thank you, Amanda, very much for helping us extend our content. This is what putting I'm not sure what that is, a cabinet of some sort, but that's not rope. That's an extension cord tying it down.
Wow. So what is the handle? Like, there's a handle on the side of the... Yeah. Now, is that under the vehicle?
I think it goes under the cabinet.
Under
maybe
the cabinet. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
And to finish off the series, this is how you transport a pink flamingo.
Yeah, okay. We all know what's wrong there. All right.
Now, this one, I'm going to give this to Frank right away. This has got to be a fake.
Okay, that's a fake.
Yeah. But do not exclude the possibility that there are people out there who actually think like this.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, that's fake. Like, that's one of those ones where the guy's like, well, we're already beat off a couple times. Let's go on Twitter and see how many people we can piss off.
Yeah.
Like, that's what that is.
He's got the old checkmate. I'm surprised it's not checkmate libs.
Wow.
Now this is an example of stupidity to the point where I can relate because I've forgotten basic things too. So apparently these people are trying to unlock a core to get the keys anyway. there is plastic taped over the back windows. You could peel that back, open the door, but no, they're trying to, go in through the window.
There's that. Wow. Well,
Frank, I know, and I'm a Canadian, I know that the president can serve a maximum of 2 4-year terms. So I do not believe, because I think y'all learned this in civics class, that the president's maximum term is 8 years, 4 times 2. I don't believe that most Americans don't even know that. I do not believe it. You got to be able to poll people, but you can't trust polls because they'll call 1,000 people over the course of 50 states in, I don't know, a month or 2 period. Those 1,000 yahoos are not representative of 350 now million plus people.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But it is America. No, it's not just it. This is America. It's this day and age in which we live. Because I myself, I experience, meaning I see people who just disregard common sense every single day. And I do not exaggerate when I say this. This is the world we live in now.
You've always been the one that if someone says like, well, everybody's going to be there, you're like, oh, everybody? Like everybody. Everybody in the world's going to be there. That's always been like, the absolute has always driven you nuts.
Yeah, the over-exaggeration, and I learned that just by living in Mackenzie and listening to how people describe things. Yeah. And I fall and prey to it as well. I'm no lording my wisdom over you. Anyone who's watched this show long enough, I'm no smart person. I don't know if I could have said that any slower or more jilted, but you get the idea.
I am so smart. I am so smart. SMRT, and that's the majority. All right. Next video.
It's Karen time.
Yeah.
Yes, I got a good one. So, last president to serve more than 2 terms was Roosevelt. He did die in office. Yeah, Roosevelt, not Roosevelt. That's a common name. Anyway, the reason they didn't, FDR was, he won 3. He went 8, and then I think he got midway into his his third 4-year term, and he died because it was wartime. And I think because of the extraneous circumstances, he was allowed to stay. That's what
there was more important things going on at the time.
Yeah, like fighting Nazis.
Yeah, like you do. I mean, it probably wasn't as bad as fighting today's Nazis, because today's like the worst time ever. I'm joking, YouTube. This isn't real.
There are so many coming out the woodwork. Ooh.
Yeah, real scary.
No, there isn't. It's that small group that are being blown up publicity-wise to make it look like there are, because some people need to sell ads. Not us, though. Not yet.
Hint, they're Blue Chew.
I haven't talked to A&W. No, I'm kidding. They wouldn't support us. But you know who would? No one would. Anyway. He died shortly. Yeah. All right. Well, that's the lesson for today. You learned something.
Write that down.
Yeah. Then that's interesting. They made term limits a thing after him. So you're taking the role of Big Red tonight by throwing the trivia at us. Okay.
All right.
So on to the stupid. The other kind of stupid.
You guys are McDonald's. You guys are fucking McDonald's, okay? You guys are McDonald's, okay? Any restaurant in Fresno? Yeah.
But they're unions, though. They are unions.
I'm pausing it because that's interesting. A unionized McDonald's. I would love to know more about that. And that's in Fresno. Oh my God. Okay, I'm stupid. Fresno, California? Okay. All right. Frank, please chime in because, not to dox Frank, but he used to live in California.
Well, you should care. You should have more respect.
Who are you?
It doesn't matter. You come in here cussing at everybody.
But, well, who are you? Okay, who are you? Well, who are you? Yeah, you're nobody, just like me. Shut up, worker ant. Wait, let this person go make your food.
I like that. Who are you? Doesn't matter who I am. Now, if he had told her his name, would that have made any difference to his refutation to her argument or her criticism?
The only thing that would have made it better is if she went, it doesn't matter who you are.
Yes.
World Star
Down the goddamn street.
Oh,
You come over here fucking yelling over a goddamn Coke?
That's
Wake the fuck up. It's the new world, woman.
I
Wake
live
the
in the
fuck
new
up.
world.
Yeah,
I
wake
do
up.
live
You
in
come
the
over
new
trying to
world.
boast that you make more than them? What kind of shit is that? What kind of shit is that?
Hey, you don't like it? Too fucking bad.
You don't fucking like it. Go
Too
down
fucking
the
bad.
fucking street.
Too
There's
fucking
Chick-fil-A
bad.
that actually
I
caters to people like you.
Oh,
Machine.
sorry.
Fucking annoying.
Sorry.
Come over here fucking boasting. Look at you. What are you wearing? What are you wearing?
What is
What are you
the
wearing?
background? What? What is the
How much does your
background?
outfit cost? So why are you
What
making fun of
does it matter what
them?
I'm
Don't
wearing?
fucking come
What
in
does it
here
matter?
and try to degrade people.
Fuck you, fucking Mexican.
Okay, yeah, whatever.
Whoa! Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
Of course,
Yeah, always got to resort to that. Yep.
Wow. Because she lost. She knows she's wrong. She got called out on it. And that is just as bad as saying you're worse than Hitler. That's as bad as saying, like, any of those buzzwords that you say that you lost the argument. You know you did. When you resort to saying that to somebody, you lost. You bring up race, it's over. You lost. You're done.
Hi, Ashley. Thank you for liking us on Facebook. Hope you're doing well.
I hope so too.
Yeah, that was our I think that's our only freak out for the day. I might have I got another one. It's 21 seconds long.
All right.
This one's a good freak out.
I love me some freak outs.
Is this one of those blue state arguments or blue city arguments? Because I've heard this recently where all blue cities are going down because of their own policies. California might be the exception because there are other blue cities that are, doing relatively well.
I haven't looked into it. Maybe I should. I don't know if Frank is still here and give a real Reader's Digest version about what's going on. But apparently San Francisco is just like a cesspool of just unbelievable decay right now. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's happened. But I heard Rogan kind of half mention it, and he said that it's just a disaster. I've seen other videos where, like, this woman was saying how, like, some dude just walked up to her and, like, spit in her face. And the guy said something like, well, you live in San Francisco. What do you expect? I don't know what's going on. I have no idea. So, yeah. So, anyways, next video.
Yep.
We go further away to pay double.
Ma'am, I need you to keep your...
Where's the other Verizon store? This number's on my PO box, and it's worth a hell of a lot of money.
Keep your...
You mafia! You, where's the other Verizon store? You double.
Okay.
Where is it?
Next door at the mall. Go.
Why the address is on that? You you
Like, why? Why? Really? See, Frank, I've heard that it's just like gone really bad. And I don't know if he's making a joke there or not, but I've heard it's just in a lot of trouble.
I'd like to parse that out. They let people shit on the streets in San Francisco.
So rampant homelessness, a drug crisis, surge in crime, and several business closures. That's a big, like it's struggling. Yeah, because they like the homelessness is out of control.
I'm assuming that means the police, law enforcement, I don't know about or if they've got more important things to deal with, like actual crime as opposed to the poop on the streets. I'm sure at some point the city gets out there to clean it up, but letting people, just because there's not a cop in sight, that doesn't mean it's allowed or they're letting them.
But at the same time, so I'm going to say this as a city worker, if people started pooping in the street, I ain't cleaning it up. That's not happening. So this is interesting. So I just popped this up. This is on Newsweek. Struggling with rampant homelessness, a drug crisis, surge in crime, and several business closures, San Francisco is no longer the thriving city it used to be. Its decline in the recent months has led to some saying the city is dying, especially as the citizens move elsewhere. So 250,000 people have fled the Bay Area since 2020. According to the U.S. Census, it estimates San Francisco population dropped 7.2% between 2021 from 2020 to 2021. That's a significant drop.
Yes.
7.2. Wow. This exodus sparked by the COVID-19 pandemic and changed the work habits that came with it continued in 2022 has health emergency drew to a close while life in other big cities started getting back to normal. San Francisco and Bay Area continued to shrink, although at a slower pace. Wow.
But at least, Frank, at least there is that line on the budget for feces removal. If they didn't care, that line wouldn't be there. That money would not be allocated for it. Now, the fact that it's there means that they recognize the problem exists and they're diverting money from something else to try and combat that new problem. Ugh. Downtown. Oh, geez.
So San Francisco, with its proximity, being close to Silicon Valley, had grown in the last few decades to become one of the country's main tech hubs. Young skilled workers flocked from the city to this modern gold rush as giants like Apple, Google, Facebook, and Twitter set up their headquarters there. But everything changed when the pandemic hit. Many San Francisco tech workers moved further out to the cheaper cities. Well, outside of the city decided against relocating there. So, yeah, crazy.
Yes.
Yep. So, yeah, there you go. So, all right. Do we have any more videos? Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Not more videos. I wanted to bring up something that I had seen a while ago. Now, this is part of a story that I'm sure we all know by now. You remember this person in this video, right?
Mm-hmm.
That MFer is not real. Look at that. Someone drew that. That is brilliant.
Let's see the mermaid tail.
That MFer is not real. Which one? Santa Claus? I don't know who else. Well, there's the leprechaun.
Yeah.
I don't know who these other people are, but who else do we have? We've got a unicorn.
An alien. Oh, the jackalope.
And you got the Sasquatch in the back.
Yeah, I like that. That's pretty good.
That is great.
I like that. Yeah.
Had that one in the back pocket for a while. Someone moves from Vancouver. No. If you're going to move out of the GVRD, Greater Vancouver Regional District, you got to go from Vancouver to, say, at least Hope or Merritt, if not further east. If you're going to Richmond, you're still within the Greater Vancouver Regional District. Or you go north to Squamish or Pemberton or Whistler if you want to get out of Vancouver. You really got to get out. They moved, but did they move? Yeah, not if they're going to Richmond. No.
Yeah, so there you go.
I wonder, Arizona and Colorado, I wonder if the the land pricing in a place like Arizona would be much cheaper than California. I would think so. Colorado, it is further inland, so I don't know. It's a bit more populous there in Colorado as opposed to Arizona, I would think. So I would like to know the price of real estate in both those places. Would it affect the census for Vancouver? That's a good question. I have no idea. I have no way to know how to access such information. And, census information is at least a few years behind the current time. So if I were to look up current census for Vancouver population, it might be from 2020 or 21 at the latest. 2022, we probably won't get for another year or two.
Probably.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
Yes.
Yeah, so I got no more Karen stuff.
And I got no more F's to give.
Oh. So I guess that's all she wrote for today.
Okay.
But I do want to thank everyone who has shown up and is still here and, popped in, including Ryan, Alma, Bolo, Dad, Brody, Beverly, Frank, Chad, Sarah, and Ashley. I don't think I missed anyone this time around.
Nope, I don't think so. I think you got everybody.
Yes, they're getting better today. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we learned something today.
Yeah. Yep.
And even though we didn't discuss it today, being a good person, well, including what Stan Lee said, less selfishness and more paying it forward. Maybe we'll dive into this more next week. Actually, you know what? For the second half of our show, we're going to discuss what being a good person is. No?
Who's we? You have a mouse in your pocket?
Who's we, white boy?
Yeah, who's one of my favorite jokes ever.
Oh my God. You know what? Why don't you learn Freebird?
Yeah. Yeah, you learn Freebird. Good call. You just dropped the ball, Brody. Just hang your head in shame.
Oh, well. At least Frank and Brody are on that train.
Yeah. Oh, music.
Yes.
Music makes the bourgeoisie and the rhythm. Yeah. Okay. What are we gonna go with this time? Pick your own damn music. I don't know.
What?
I should have just thought. I was trying to think off the top of my head. I don't know, Alma. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, how about off the Eurythmics Greatest Hits album? You Have Placed a Chill in My Heart. It's just it's a B-side. It was on their Greatest Hits. Yeah. I don't think a lot of people even know the song exists, but I quite enjoy the song. I actually just re-downloaded it a couple weeks ago. I think I caught it on like one of the mid-ranged things. So yeah.
Look forward to a 1.5-page long list by Frank one of these days soon.
Actually, there is a couple covers. I don't mind doing those ones. Because if there's a band that's done the cover already, I always have a problem when I'm singing is trying to find the voice that the singer has. But if I can get a band that's kind of already done it and we can do their cover of it, it's like doing 99 Red Balloons. I would have never thought to do it Nenya style, whoever the hell did it, but like the way Goldfinger does, it's like, oh, hell yeah, we can do that. Yeah. So, anyways, that's me. What's your movie?
I'm kind of late to the party on this, but better late than never. This one. This was great. This is next level animation. I like what Disney and Pixar did in years past, but as evolution marches on, so does entertainment and where it's going. And this is a great example. This movie started off very strong, a lot of laughs, a lot of energy. About midway through the second act, the laughs started to dissipate, but the energy was still there, and the movie finished strong. So I definitely recommend this movie. And yes, I would agree, 8.4, or at least close to 8.4 out of 10 for this. I watched the sequel, I think it was this weekend, and it was decent. It didn't start off as strong, but it was pretty good. So Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, definitely recommend.
Chadney loved it, so.
Chadney loves static because he can't see anymore. I had a big crush on her in the 80s. Attaboy, Frank. Maybe that's Frank's password or one of his accounts.
Debbie Gibson?
Yeah. You gave too much away, Frank. Next time. But people who haven't given much away because we haven't seen them in a while, really, Hanamaw, Overseer, Casey, Penny, Jen, Corey, both Trevors, both Jolene's, and a shout out to Gareth, Susan, and Ravi. Thank you all so much for being here. Yeah,
do you count Amanda's shout out as because you gave her the shout out for the video, for the pictures?
And a great big thank you to our friend Amanda for helping us fill time over these past, 10 episodes.
I sent you another picture.
With people, trying to cart stuff home in their vehicles. I always like to learn stuff through the mistakes of others, not to, laugh at people, but because we can all learn something.
And a lot of it too is, I think, not that it makes the situation better, but a lot of those, when they haul stuff, you're kind of like, how far are you going? If it's one of those things where it's like a Mackenzie, say, Century trailer court to the mall, you're like, okay, I can see you being like, let's wing it. Okay, because it's not far. But I mean, if you're going from like College Heights and Prince George out to the heart, perhaps you should find a trailer. Right? That's kind of my thought. So, excuse me.
And it's great to have various people show up. And this is the last note I'll give on this, because I think it was last week when Tex was here and I posted the picture of the cow in the trailer, and Tex said, hey, we do that all the time here. So I thought it was funny, but it's a regular thing out there. So, and the cow was strapped down. So not as big a hit as I thought it would be.
I liked it. So
yeah, anyway. It's something different that we don't see. Yeah.
Right. So, but yeah, thank you guys. Love each other. Think about things when like I said, it happened. I had 2 incidences where it's like, I'm not going to do that. So yeah, and have a great week. And we'll see you next week.
And what I forgot to do this week around was put up the disclaimer. So I guess for this whole show, you had to believe everything we said.
Everything we said. Yep. We're simultaneous now.
Yes.
Yeah. So, all right. Take care, everybody. Have a great week. We love you all.
Think before you say something. Think before you do something. Any more parting words for the people?
Yeah, bro, man, he like them apples. Show off. That's the Brian O'Connor school driving right there, baby. Crazy ass white boy.